on this Monday. I'll try that mission once again. Once I get to that place, I gotta minimize this, so give me just a second. On Twitch only today. Let me go ahead and minimize. I won't have to leave to necessarily go take a shower today like I do a lot of days. But I will. I might get tired or something, so I'm gonna stay on as long as I can. As long as my neck can hold up. I probably won't show the camera much, because that doesn't sure that my holding up to be in the camera to set straight and not look like a robot necessarily, but um, to stay where I'm not looking retarded or something. I have to hold my head a certain way, because in the old days, I'm gonna get out one of them old videos. You might be able to find them yourself. I'm gonna get out one of them old videos when I first started. Sometimes I'd be sitting there playing Resident Evil and be, okay. Um, we're gonna get started here in a minute. I'm trying to get my sound working. Let's see if we got sound. If I hear I don't hear a click. If I don't hear a click, I don't got a sound. Let me check all those settings here before I do anything else. Yeah, that's right. Uh, Sound system, I've got it turned down some. I can't stand that bong, bong. I'll probably be able to hear the bongs now, 'cause I turned it up some. Let me just test it. I'm not hearing anything. Wonder what's wrong with sound. Okay, it's on that. Let's see if it's on. It ain't on yet. That's what's wrong. One of the things hasn't. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I found it. I know I had to download a sound system just to hear my gaming now. And I think it's what's on the. Oh, I see. It's on virtual cable. Let's see if we hear it now. See, I have virtual cable installed too for when I need it. Sometimes I need it. I don't use virtual cable unless I need it. Um, so we're getting ready for this Monday. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to that. I hope I remember. I bet I won't remember where it was at again. I hope I can remember it from the screenshot. I'm gonna try that mission once again. I get this data, and then I get hung up when I'm going back to do whatever the next mission is. If I keep doing this, I'm going to not go in with that mission. I'll go watch some YouTube videos and see where I'm doing wrong, where I'm going wrong, etc. Sometimes I have to do that. I don't like doing that. I leave that the last minute. If I only do that when I cannot solve it. If I ever see I can't solve something, that's when I do it. And then even that, I'll stop it because I don't want to see what's next. I really like solving it myself. I like what I've done with her hair right now. I don't know how long that'll last. I get tired easily. I don't know how I've wore the same hair for 20, 30 years because I get tired. By the way, I got two iconic pictures this weekend while going to see some wrestling. I got a picture outside the A Team truck. That's a model of the A Team truck and a model of the uh, A Team. I mean A Team van and the car, the Dukes of Hazzard car. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna show y'all those pictures. Before we get started on this Monday, I'll go here. I'll bring up the image here. I'll change images, see if we can find it. I'm gonna go with the we actually had a GMC van. The white one that we used to go to the concerts and they carried my wheelchair. I had Granny Cart with me, so I didn't have the King. I liked it without the King. I'm going to be honest. I'm gonna tell y'all if I could, if it wasn't so hard to deal with that granny cart, I'd use the granny cart over the cane. It was freedom, Ben. Lord, it's gonna be so amazing when you finally do restore the body the way it's supposed to be, where I don't even have to have the granny cart or the cane. That was an amazing night, and I haven't had that cane. Now the problem was, I kind of had problems walking to the bathroom, but I made it because I don't take that granny cart in bathrooms. Now we're gonna show the Dukes of Hazzard. I'll let y'all see it for a minute before we go changing it. That's me outside. Look how big I am. You know what's going on in that video game? Am I that big? Am I really that big? See, I only see the world through my eyes. And I saw me outside the truck. I'm gonna have to steal her truck and paint it similar colors. I'm gonna be looking around for a truck like that so I can have her a truck similar to that. My daddy loved vans. Now let's get the Dukes of Hazzard car. Now you know I call mine the Sara Lee. My mama started. I couldn't believe it. I was sitting there streaming. It's on my wrestling video. Y'all can get it on my Rumble channel. And I know Twitch don't really like you hollering out other things, but I've got a video posted where I took all my Facebook clips because you know they'll go down after 30 days. I didn't want to lose my mama telling her tale of when her and my daddy owned a car like that. Because I was telling it just a week before, just on one of these streams. I don't remember if it was Monday or one of the other days. And then, sure enough, she started telling it. So I turned the camera around on here. I decided she's got a lot of tales. I'm gonna try to get her to tape her tales. I may not post them if I think they're too personal. I won't post them. But I loved how she was talking on that camera. She told the tale of when her and my dad had one. They had to eventually trade it. I couldn't remember what happened because it stayed in the shop all the time. I mean, it was always taking it back to have it worked on. That's the reason they got rid of it. I think my other sister, has an actual picture of my daddy with it outside it. I'm pretty sure she does. I think I've seen her post it before. I think they got a picture. I'm gonna ask. If they got a picture of him with that car. But I had to get a picture with that car. I told my sister, I said, I'll take yours, you take mine. I got to have a picture of that. She said, okay. I decided she goes to anymore. I usually didn't go. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed even like getting pictures of the car and stuff. Like she used to go to them things and, well, a lot of times she was going with her boyfriend anyway, but sometimes my mama would take her and stuff and I wouldn't go. I'm going to go next time. I ain't going to worry about having to use the cart because I enjoyed it. What I'm going to do is, you don't know why I don't enjoy going anywhere? I would always take the cart and the cane. And then when you take the cart, you can't hold the cane and you got to put the cane and then it falls off. And it's a constant fight and battle. And I just didn't enjoy going anywhere. But for now, when I take the cart, I'm not taking the cane. Now I'll have to watch myself when I go in the bathrooms because I lose my balance. That's the main reason for the cane. I've had that ever since I had an injury when I was a teenager. I have had that damn cane since I was 14 or 15. 90. I was about 14. I hadn't turned 15 yet. I wouldn't have turned 15 to that August. So I was still 14 when I had to have that cane. And I'm talking about post 90. Okay, so probably was 15 when I had the cane because I had to use a wheelchair and it took my legs 6 months to heal. And when I recovered, I still had to use a wheelchair. But anytime where I could walk short distance, I had to use a cane. People would have to push me in the wheelchair. That took me a long time to recover. I was sort of in recovery up to 91 with that injury. Fully. And I'm talking about walking wise. And then the neurological got me a few years later. So I couldn't win either way. I was out when I was a teenager, got back for just a little bit. About late 94, early 95, that's when the neurological started setting in. I mean, really activating. I had the back problems ever since I was a kid. That neurological started activating, and then that's when I started going to doctors trying to find out what was wrong. Signed up for the disability because I didn't have, but I had to sign up for it when I did because I was about to run out of my time. So we went ahead and made sure we got it. Because I knew once I didn't have it, I wouldn't have nothing. So we went ahead and done it, and then that's when we found later on. I was telling my cousin, my symptoms, and he said you need to go get checked for this neurological disorder. Now, I'm going to tell you, I went to one doctor when I was having some problems. She told me I had a neurological. I didn't understand what she was talking about. It was a family thing, by the way. We have a special version. It comes with fat genes and everything else. Damn thing comes with fat genes and everything else. I was a big kid. I was big as a kid. I'm trying to get that off of me now. That's the worst part of the neurological. Because I get in that gym, I'm going to tell you, I get fired up when I get in that gym. But I can only do so much, and even my doctors told me to be careful with it. I'm telling you, though, I want to work out the whole time I'm there.
Meet you, and believe me, you want to meet him. You think I'm into some bad stuff? Let me tell you, this guy has a finger in every pie in Los Santos and beyond. Meet me at LSIA, and if you embarrass me in front of him, I will kill you.
Man, I've had the back issues for ages. I mean, I even broke my back in Scope. Larry I had the disc. It's whatever they call it. It's a disease that affects it's a degenerative disc disease or whatever. I've had that since I was a kid. Probably had the neurological too. I just didn't know. Oh, hold on. I'm going back in. I hadn't got out of the mode yet. And I'm talking about this mode. I was in the griefer mode where people could kill me. It's going to be an amazing day when I don't have to use nor the cane nor the wheel walker. That'll be an amazing day. Amazing. I praise Jesus. It could happen on Earth if He tell me. He did cure me of something, the breathing. And I told y'all that story. Rodney Howard Brown actually prayed for me there. And all the rest of the sicknesses didn't go away, but the breathing did. I even done it the other day, like I sat down after I did all that walking, because that place is huge and it about killed me. I sat down and I breathed heavy for about a couple of minutes. But in the old days, I would have been, I'm just telling you how it would have been. Because when we went to Guns N' Roses, I was still in that kind of shape. He hadn't prayed for me yet. And when we went to Guns N' Roses, my sister said, "Come on, the car's on here. I can't make it. I can't make it." We had to walk a whole lot. The place was a big center at down there in Atlanta. And the parking was all the way across a bridge. In other words, there's a big bridge, you want to cross it, and the parking was down that way. And it was you had to walk up the sidewalk of the bridge to get to the place. I forgot, Gold Dome or whatever it was called. And there's a big bridge. You had to walk all across that bridge to go to the parking center. In other words, it's one of those big centers. It was provided with the ticket, but it was across the bridge. You had to go across that freaking bridge. And by the time, and I gave out. Plus, we got turned wrong. We had to go back around because we come out exactly opposite of where we came in. We came in through the underground, and they let us out in the front. And we was basically around the whole building. So, and she kept going. It's just around the corner, and it was around the corner. I had to sit down. I had to sit down. My legs, they get like spaghetti. They get like spaghetti. I was even getting like spaghetti, but we wasn't quite as far as that. We had to go a little bit from the parking lot. We had a handicap space. It's just a handicap in another section. It wasn't right there in front of the building. They were giving out on me yesterday, but luckily I made it. But I huffed for about a couple minutes, and it was over. And I thought, that prayer's still working. I thank Jesus every time because that was his prayer. I thank Jesus every time because when that breathing goes away, I remember how it was, and I always praise Jesus. I tell y'all, I know they tell you can't judge things from because you have to be careful with the spirit and not go on feelings and sight. So that's one of the reasons because I had never actually seen a pastor get their prayer for me. I'm telling you, not like that. It didn't happen overnight. It was like he even had some old lady cuss him and then she apologized him because he prayed for her and nothing happened right there. I mean, it didn't happen right away, but over time, and it wasn't my working out or nothing. It was that prayer because I was working out when he prayed for me. I just was lazy about it. I'd do it a few months at a time and then quit. I'd usually quit during the hot months. Then I'd go doing it back in the cold. And when it got hot, I'd quit again. That's why it was slow for me losing 100 pounds. I'd have probably got that 100 pounds off a long time ago if I had just motivated myself to work out even when it was hot. I was fine when it was freezing cold. Indeed, I liked doing it when it was freezing cold. But I hated doing it when it was hot. Of course, it probably was that huffing the reason I hated it. Because the heat would make that huffing a whole lot worse. That started about 99, if I remember correctly. 98 or 99, the huffing. Might have started before then, but that's when I really noticed it really bad. 2003, that thing fully triggered. I think it was a pill that triggered it, but it triggered. I think it was one of these diabetes pills I'm taking that triggered it, or one of those blood pressure pills. I couldn't decide because both of them caused the symptom. What happened? I never could figure out whether it was the blood pressure or the diabetes pill, but it fully triggered that thing. It ain't much better. Like I've noticed, I can make 5 or 6 minutes on my feet. That's doing a karaoke song. But when I do those long songs, like Metallica had some 8-minute ones. Metallica, there's that B, ain't that? Is it the U we go? It's the U we go to, not the B. I'm probably going the wrong way. Let's not turn there. I'm gonna get my green car smashed. These creeps are just gonna smash me. I don't want to go that way. We going riding on the freeway of love. My daddy, he loved those bands though. That's usually what he in the end he got where that's what he'd buy. You know what gets me about everything, and I don't mean to turn this into this, and I'm going to try to get off the subject real quick, because I don't really like talking about this stuff. But you know what gets me? If you really got anything wrong with you, you say you're a veteran, or you lost your legs in war, or you lost your legs and you can't support yourself, they won't help you. And if you are disabled, they make you go through. I mean, I felt like I was poked and prodded. It took me 3 full years to get that thing. And by the end of it, felt like I didn't feel like a human anymore by the time I was through with that. That's how dehumanizing it was. But this is illegal aliens, and I don't mean to get on this, but they can just walk across the border and they're giving everything they want. Then they want to wonder why Americans are fed up with it. Be a veteran. That veterans get treated worse than regular people. We probably do need to cut out the services for the people that don't need them. But for the people that need them, it needs to be there. And the people that really need them are always the ones that's hard to get it. I'm going to tell y'all. It don't come easy. It ain't easy come, easy go. It ain't easy come, easy go. It's hard. I didn't even feel like a human anymore after I was through with that service. I'm going to tell you on an album that was marred by that. The day I got it, or the day that my ruling came in, let's put that, it didn't start till later. Because, they had to go through the paperwork and all that stuff. There's an album come out that day. It was called No Fragile by 9 Inch Nails. I can still feel the horror of that day when I listen to that CD. It's captured in the CD. My sister had went and got it, and I got a copy of it. I had a copy of a copy of it. Sing a copy of a copy. There's a song he's got go, a copy of a copy. I had it on tape. Then I eventually got the CD too. When I got my money. I didn't buy the actual album the day it come out. I bought mine about going into the year there. That album had come out right when they had ruled that I could have that I was gonna have it. And that day, I felt so terrible. All that pride and having them old women pride me too. And finally, an old judge said to him, "Really, you gonna make his mama? He don't drive. You gonna make his mama drive him all the way to Atlanta or Knoxville to get him a job? Are we gonna have his mama driving him every day? Well, as far as I can tell, he may not be able to drive." Well, I have eye issues. That's the reason he said that. You won't get his mama driving him around that long every day to work. He says, I ain't going with that. That's what he told him, because that's what they's done. They're cooking up jobs for me in Atlanta, Knoxville, Nashville. But you want to know something? I wouldn't have been able to done those jobs. So half the time I'm able to gain. Sometimes I just have to quit. I wish I could turn this into money. I'm looking at some of the things that some of these people's earned online. Some of these people have earned killings off one video. I would love to turn it into a job. But I can't depend on that. And that's another thing that they look at when they're deciding that stuff. I'm gonna tell y'all. It has to be something that is not just a guess that you're gonna make money. Or they don't count it. A whim. It's gotta be like you gotta have an actual daily job and you're getting paid when they decide that stuff. It ain't just easy come, easy go unless you get it handed to you for being a non-citizen or whatever other reason they hand you something. Well, watch how they treat the veterans who really need stuff. My mother knew one, he did work. He got where he couldn't work. I mean, he just got where he couldn't work. And they kept turning him down and turning him down and turning him down. And him, a veteran, he'd lost his leg in a war. I don't remember if he ever got his. I'll have to ask her. She had to struggle too to get it. They gave her hell. Of course, they have certain things. They have a calculator. They count work. Like, say, like even hobby stuff, they can count. I went and added mine up. I'm retired, even what I do on this, what I do, what they call, what would be work, I'm considered retired. Because I went and added, when I found the calculator, I went and added myself up. 70 hours. I'm not even doing anything in hobby junk. It's like even when I'm working on a song or something, I do that over a month's period of time. Record one song at a time. I might wait a few weeks, start another one. If I'm really happy, I might do them weekly or a few days. If I really get hot on the trail and I'm excited about doing it. Now, it can take me hours to mix, but that's hours over days. Like I'd work on it a few minutes here, a few minutes there, and it might take days for me to do it. Working on a new project now. I'll tell you all about that later. Right now, it's under wraps. I got on the freeway. I'm not going to get that mission today because I'll be wore out by the time I do it. I'll just wait and hold it and do it later. I was going to try because I got turned off. It's sort of like real world, the real life, like when I've noticed when people's driving around now, some people, they have conversations and they got a person in the car with them, they're talking. I kind of got more paying attention to my talk than where I was going. Boy, it'd be bad if I really was driver and I had a passenger with me and we was talking. I'd probably really do that. I'd probably be out talking. I'd probably never get where I was going. Because I sometimes distract myself. In other words, I'll get into my conversation and just keep driving. And then I'll realize I passed the turn I needed to the turn that I needed to take. A lot of times I just drive recklessly, but then every once in a while I try to drive right to see if I can do it. I'm gonna go ahead and just earn some money, I guess, today. That bad. Just tried to hit me. I try not to cuss. I see the A coming up. Let's get off this exit. I'm tired of this freeway. Can I not take? I can't take that exit. Maybe I can. Oh, I know where I'm going though. I don't like this part. We're going to those sandy shores, the land of the trailers and the dirt and the mud and the sand. Like that summer we stayed at the that place named that. I about died when I got there and I saw that was the name of it. I'll tell you, I wasn't a big fan of the carrot. People goes on about Myrtle Beach. It was out there near it. We weren't exactly on Myrtle. I like Florida, man. That's a fake Florida. I didn't enjoy that vacation like I did a Florida vacation. Now, it's still nice to be around the beaches and the sand and get and see it. But I still, when I go to a beach, I want to be in Florida, man. I like Florida the best. These other places can have their beaches. Well, when you do that swap out program, you have to take what you can get, what's cheap, what you can afford. Some of them are real expensive. And then, unfortunately, our Bay place got tore up. They're still fixing it. He got hit when Fort Myers Beach got wiped out. They're working on it. It's just taking them forever. We was gonna take it that year, and then we didn't know if we'd feel like riding and driving it. So we swapped it out, and then it got destroyed. I'll tell y'all that last time I went down there, which was 18, I believe. So we got where we swap it. My daddy bought it for us, basically. He said this out of his own mouth. He said, well, Philip and Crystal liked it down there so much, so I went and bought a room. But he didn't realize it wasn't the place I was liking. It was the pool. We didn't have a swimming pool. That Vincent put us one in 88. We didn't have a swimming pool. We liked the swimming pool. But now he didn't know that. So when he left that year, before he left, he bought it. Bought one of the rooms. And we still got that vacation all these years later. First time my mama, she was just as involved in that decision anyway. He told that was the reason he wanted to buy it. Because we liked it. I was actually shocked to hear him say that in a lot of ways, because sometimes he had to I'll tell you what it is, he wanted a little mini me. And I wasn't as mini me. He liked country music. I liked rock and roll. And then when he found out I liked Alan Jackson, I heard him actually say, that come out of his mouth. He said, finally, you like somebody I like. I didn't know you liked him. I said, I liked him the minute I heard him. It's back when I had that injury. Y'all remember? Well, it was a little bit before, but that week before. See, I started listening to him around the time I had the injury, because I'd run into him the week before. And I was watching we used to have this local channel, and they'd show videos, country videos, and they told about how he's from Georgia, and he's a newcomer. So I turned it up, and I listened to it, and I thought, well, I like that. It's here in the real world. So I started, when I got a chance, I bought his albums. One day my dad came in from work. This was the second album. He didn't even know I liked him to the first one. You playing Alan Jackson? I didn't know you liked him. He said, I used to watch him back on the Ralph Emery show. He'd come on back even before he even made it. He would. He was the male guy. He's the male guy. That's what Alan Jackson, I believe he was the one that was the male guy. My daddy liked Keith Whitley, too. I wasn't really a big fan of Keith Whitley, but my daddy was. Of course, they'd watch him and Lori Morgan come on all the time, too, you know, on that same show. I told y'all he had to go get a converter back in the day, so we already had a converter box. That's the hell. That was the whole reason he subscribed to cable anyway. Is no, he wanted to. He got tired of fighting with watching his wrestling. I believe he'd have to fight with the antagonist. You know, it was Atlanta. He watched Chattanooga too, of course, but he watched TBS. And he got tired of fighting with it, so he went and he said when the minute Dalton got cable, he got it. So he had cable the minute Dalton got it. And Dalton was one of the first towns to get it. But then the minute they got that TNN, he just had to have it. He went and got a converter bus like in the early 80s. The early 80s. Because they got that TNN. He liked watching that Ralph Emery show. Surely I got to get out of this place eventually. Let's see what we're coming up on. That's dark. I can't read it. But I recognize the area. I'll go earn her some money since I didn't get to take that. I ain't going to bite her now because I was thinking, well, I'll get it early and then I won't run out. Then I won't get tired. Then I got myself distracted. Start talking about the granny cart that I don't. It's the cane I hate the most. I like the granny cart more than I hate the cane. More than I like the cane. I just discovered that this weekend. That's the first thing I never discovered. See, I haven't been detached from that cane since I was a kid. I mean, I am in the house. I don't, unless I have one of them bad days where I'm really, really I have a spell where I only use the cane in the house if I need it. And I haven't seen my days. Because a lot of times I'm just going between the room, the bathroom, the living room. And it is a little big in this house because my room's far away from it. But now I don't have to worry because if I were to stumble, I could grab the door, you know. I could grab the door, going through the doors. So I don't use it. That's the only time I get free of it. When I'm in public, I always have it with me. But this weekend, I feel free. Even though I had the granny cart, I feel free. I'm like, okay. I wish I could completely not have it. But my mama told me, she said, you better not do that. You get out there and you might fall. She is right, because I do get stumbling. But now I'm not going to put the cart. We're not going to put it together every time I go somewhere. So I only use it if I have to. And that's when I can't walk. Like say, if I can't just walk in a place and it's a few minutes on my feet, I can't do it. If it's going to be a big walk, I got to have the either a wheelchair or the granny cart. And I don't go in stores anymore for that same reason. I'm going to tell you why. That yes, a lot of them provide those chairs. I told that story. People are rude. They stumble in your way. They're in your way. You're looking at butts, or sometimes your face is right in their damn fucking butt. Because of fuck. Your face is right in their butts. If they smell, you can smell it. They're stuck in your way. You can't get around them. And one time, I got in that situation. It was in a Florida Walmart. I got up. I done the best I could. I walked and walked till I found the bench, sat down. I left the thing parked where it was at. I got up and left it because I just couldn't get around those people. I walked to a bench, walked to another bench, went and got the key from either daddy or mommy, whichever one had it. I don't remember. I believe it. He was still driving back then, so it could have been him or her. No, I take that back. I always had me a spare key to get in the door. I remember now. We would always go make us a spare key, and I could get in and out of the doors if I wanted to. I went to the car because I was at the back of the store, and my mama started looking for me. She finally come out of the car. You out here? We were looking for you. I said I got tired of it. I hate dealing with people, y'all. And I understand the plight of a person in a wheelchair or the disabled. Because I don't have to be bound to a wheelchair. But I understand what the pain that they go through. Just putting up with that all the time. And then not even ever getting out of it. Not even for a second. I hope I'm not ever in the situation, and I don't know with this. You never know how life's going to go, especially the situation I have. I hope I'm never in the situation where I have to fully be in one. That's all I'm going to say. Because at least I can, even though I have to sit down every once in a while to get where I'm going, at least I can get up if I don't have to like it. I mean, I did. I'm sure the employees and stuff didn't appreciate it. I kid you, I got tired of it. I got up. I found me a bench, sat on it for a few minutes, got to the front of the store, and then finally got out. Because I was at the back, and it's one of those big, huge ones. And this Walmart was one of them huge, huge, huge ones. It was in Florida. This thing was big. I've also had them die on me before. That's a terrible feeling, too. Boy, that's really terrible when you get them and they die on you. So I just don't go to stores anymore, unless I have to. Now, if I felt like assembling that granny card every time or having it assembled or assembling it, I would probably grab the granny cart and go places. So you do have to take them apart. You have to take them apart and put them in the vehicles. And you just have to put it together every time you use it. Put it together every time you use it. It's not worth it. So I just only do it for concerts or events or. I got a really big one. I like the bigger one better than the regular one. Yeah, I'm getting back now. I notice it. I know where I'm at. Woohoo! We're finally getting back to town. I know exactly where I'm at now, and I'm starting to get reckless. I'll try not to use the copyrighted music anymore. Even though I like having music in my stream, I'm gonna try not to. Because YouTube, I ran in a video that the other day. They're cracking down on that stuff. YouTube, you don't want to promote. I'm gonna tell y'all something I've learned. You don't want to promote anything that they count as harmful to their community, and that means, like, say you don't want to even promote. Like they're even. Oh man, I'm turning over my green car. You can't even promote, like, say, things you've learned that you can make money off of. They count that as harmful to their community. Of course, I don't put the music on. I put it on Rumble. I ain't gonna put it on Rumble. I think that's silly, man. I mean, at the end of the day, there's nothing that can be done with that music in the background. I mean, it ain't like somebody's gonna be able to record it and take it as a pirated song. You know what I'm saying? Because people's talking over it. It's got noise in it. I'll tell you, people playing my music, as long as I was getting play, as long as they didn't take it as their own, I wouldn't worry about it. I'd look at it and somebody might hear my music and like it and go like me over it, and maybe go actually get my music. I'll try to make my music better. I haven't never tried. Y'all know I've never tried. I just created for me. Like that. There's a scene in the Prince movie. And I'm not comparing, I'm nowhere near Prince. But the black dude, the one with the glasses, he tells him, the problem, kid? You make music for you. You don't make it for the people. That's me. I make music for me. And I forgot exactly how he said it, but that resonates with me because I do the same thing. I never tried to make it. I never tried. Now, I was going to try to that disability, but even then, I'd have probably still done my music the same. Nobody probably paid attention to me. I'd probably been out there just peddling for nothing, because nobody, because I do that. I make music for me. I go do the sounds I want to hear. I go do the lyrics I want to do. And a lot of times my weird lyrics are weird stuff. They're weird shit. Fussing songs, cussing songs, heartbreak songs, weird stuff, alien songs, ghost songs, you name it. Stories about my characters. I never did try. One of these days I'm going to sit down and try to make a really good album. And I don't even want no filler on that album. I don't even want no, because there has been times I found I took fillers. This last album was one of those. I got several songs that I was listening to it when it came out. I hadn't heard it in a while since I recorded it, which is a good thing, by the way. Because when you hear it later on, you actually get to be a critic of it. When you're making it every day and you're hearing it all the time, because I'm telling you, you hear it, any artist knows what I'm talking about. Your song is already old by the time it's recorded. You've already heard it every which way but blue. Every which way but blue. You've heard it every which way but blue. You've heard it every which way it could be, every which way it could be sung. You've sung it every way you could sing it, till you got it down to how you wanted it. And then you're tired of it. You're tired of it. You don't want to hear it again. So I didn't listen to it for months, and then finally when it come out, I played it. And I thought, yeah, I like that. I don't like that. I ain't using that effect no more. And if I use it, I'm going to use it in moderation. Don't like that. That's oversaturated. Of course, now I was experimenting anyway. I found a bunch of plugins. And I was just having a field day with them. 70s plugins, 80s plugins, disco plugins, you name it. I was just having a field day with them. But I should have just experimented on demos or something. Not actually my album. I count myself an experimental artist anyway. Every which way but blue, you turn me every which way but blue. That's an old song. I don't even remember who done it. Of course, now here's the problem. And this is the really big problem. This is like say, a lot of it ain't up to the artist. Like it also depends on who owns the music. So a lot of times, even though the song is a song, one person owns the publishing. See, songs are not just songs. They're They're multiple. They're multiple entities. Unless you own all of it. I happen to own all mine. But now there's people who like sold their publishing rights or sold their music rights. But yet somebody else might own the publishing. That's where that comes in at. That's where the problem's at. Music is owned by so many people. And then later on, when one publishing company owns it, they put it up for sale, then somebody else buys it, and then they own the publishing of that, then that person controls it. So what I'm saying is music is a complicated thing. And unless you've ever dealt with copyright or anything, you don't know nothing about that stuff. Like, for instance, when I'm releasing my music, I got to sign a waiver that says I own the publishing. Or if I don't own it, I got to tell who owns it. See what I'm saying? And I got to list them. Like when you do a cover song, you got to list the publisher, you got to list the songwriters, then you got to list your part because you own your copy. You own your copy, but you don't own the song. You see, you own your version, but you don't own the song. So you have to fill out several forms when you do a copyright. When you deal with the covers, then you got to pay the licensees to license it. So you got to deal with the licenses. You got to get the licenses for it. So anybody that hadn't never dealt with all that stuff don't know what it is. I've dealt with it. A song's bigger than just the music is a song itself. It's got separate entities that are involved. A lot of times there's several owners of it. Like say the writer owns his part. If he didn't sell his part, now if he sold his part, whoever bought his part now owns his part. He's still got his name down on it, but whoever bought it owns it. So it gets even more complicated. It's possible that one song could be owned by 2 or 3 different entities. It's crazy, man. I figured that out when I started doing legal covers, actual legal covers, not just doing a karaoke cover and putting it online. I'm talking about actual legal, filling out the legal leads. It's complicated. You have to look all that stuff up. Like that Marilyn Manson one I covered, it was owned by several different entities. Trent owned a piece of it. The publisher owned a piece of it. I believe Manson owned a piece of it. The Marilyn Manson cover. I just used this as an example. I could pull up my license and read out all the names on it. On my hard drive. When I got my hard drive out. I got the license, Copy of my license. I had to look all that stuff up to do it, by the way. I just had trouble looking that one up. Finally, the company did get it right. I told them, I said, I had problems because it's changed several times. And they told me, they wrote, we got it. And yeah, they had it. It was written on it was on the license. Some of us have to work for a living. Even though I've never worked, I get that. I'm gonna tell you why. My parents are hard workers. My mama got crippled at her job, and my daddy, he worked till he retired. And I'm glad they didn't work in old carpet mills. Them old carpet mills has hurt this land. Indeed, there's a discussion going on right now about the forever poisons that they've done to this. It'll be here forever till Jesus heals it. Those poisons are going to be a part of the water in this area until Jesus returns and restores this earth. I won't say forever, because he's going to restore the earth. He's going, indeed, eventually they're going to make a new heaven and earth. When the final war happens, that's after his reign. When Satan gets loosed on those people that didn't know him. Boy, that's going to be a horrible time. I bet you there'll be an Alex Jones on the radio then. I don't know when he's coming, but he's coming. And when he comes, woe to you people. Woe to you people. You going to feel him. God even might have some younger people that he showed shared the knowledge with. And they'll be on the radio. They'll be telling, in Jesus' kingdom. I'm talking about Jesus' kingdom. I'm talking about the tail end of it. There'll be people on the radio. I know it. I can see it now. Whatever the medium is at that time. In Jesus' kingdom. There'll be somebody telling, mark my words. The time will be coming, and it'll be, I feel it in my bones. Satan is coming. He's about to be loosed. He gave the first set of people hell before Jesus saved a bunch and then ruled and reigned with them for 1,000 years. We're coming to the close of the end of the 1,000 years, and I don't know what day he's going to be loose, but he's coming. He's going to be loose. You people better get ready. They ain't going to know what they're in for, because they've had 1,000 years of happiness and no death. Jesus and his reign. Them people's going to be, yeah. You don't know what to do. I bet they'll leave me some to laugh. And then he gets loose. I can see it. I can see it. Hell, it may be even some of us. It may be even Alice Jones or some of us. If we're around, if we're in that kingdom, it may be some of us. We done seen him. We know what he is. You world just don't know what you're going to get into. We'll be preaching. We'll be preaching to the people, because we'll be a little higher than them. We'll be like Jesus. They'll just be regular natural men, the ones that are born into it. But then they don't want to be born into sin, you see. They'll be born in a time when everything's restored for 1,000 years. At least according to what I understand. It's my understanding. I can see it. I can see it. I can see people on the radio or whatever the medium is. And they're preaching, even if they're just preaching out in public. It'll be, he's coming. He's coming, people. You better get ready. You better stay with Jesus. You've had him here. You've had him with you. Now you better stay with him. No war. No rumors of wars. No fighting. The lambs and the lions are laying together. And then all of a sudden, here comes that Satan, stirring up all the problems again. He gets loose from his prison. And I can hear the people that already experienced him warning the people that there, the new people, the people that were born under Jesus. I can see us warning them. He's coming. He's coming. Hell, Jesus might even be warning them. He may be up on making his speeches, like when we hear an address from Trump. You have had it good, but I can see some days coming where you may not have it good. I could hear it. I'm telling you, I'm your people. He didn't hold nothing from his people back then. He's addressed them. You're fixing to get the final test. You better hold in with me. Those who hold unto me and love me will stay with me. The rest of you perish. I know I'm talking about future instances, and I don't even know how that happened. I'm not prophesying anything. I'm not claiming anything. I'm just having a creative mind here. And I'm not adding to the Bible. I'm just telling you, like, I'm trying to imagine what that time's going to be like. I'm talking about that particular time when Satan's released into the world. You know, he eventually he gets bound, and he's loose right now. He gets bound, and Jesus bounds him and takes his kingdoms back, takes his world back, the one that he stole from Adam. He comes and takes it back, and he rules it for 1,000 years, and then Satan gets loose for that little time. Y'all know what God's doing there? He's weeding out all the bad people. So not all of you are intended to be saved. Now, he wanted to save you, but not all of them are intended for salvation. He's weeding out all the Satans. You see, Satan ain't the only bad entity in this world, but people likes to preach that. It's not true. If it were true, God, I'm gonna tell you, if that was the way it was, you know what God could have done? He could have just got rid of him. He could have just locked him off from the world, locked him off from everything, put him in dark chains like those dark ones that fell when they flooded the world. He could have locked him away. God knew there'd be people to be just as bad as him, if not eviler than him. God knew that. People don't like hearing that. They don't like saying that. They don't like hearing it. I'll say it because I've seen my goods and my bads. And I don't hide either one of them. A lot of people go and say, I'm a good person. I'm a good person. I like to be good. I try to be good. But there's been times I haven't been good. I desire to be good. I weep when I'm not good. It breaks my heart, especially knowing if I disappoint a guy. That's how I know I'm not completely lost. I think if I was completely lost, I think I wouldn't care. I think I'd be so evil that I wouldn't even care that I would break God's heart. I don't even think I would care. I think that's how you know whether you committed the sin of sins or not. You know, there's a sin that's not forgiven. I think how you would know it is if you was an individual and you don't care. If you don't care, I think you've done it. If you worry about it, you ain't broke it yet. If you ain't worried about it, if you ain't worried about it, I think you've broken it. And you don't care. I think that's when you actually break it. I think if you worry about it or you even have a doubt about it or anything, I think you're not there yet, and you just better just go repent. I'd say repent if you done it though. I mean, what's going to hurt you? And you never know. He's a guide of guides, and he knows the heart. You got to realize he studies the heart. You just might not get forgiven for that wickedness. I would still, like I said, if you come to repentance and you love him anyway, and you've got to liking him anyway, go ahead and repent. That's what I say. Because he knows the heart. He knows when you're lying and when you're not. He'll know if you're genuine. But I don't think it's possible for those that's broke it to repent. I don't think they'll even care. So if you're worried about it, that might be a little bit of comfort to somebody right now. If you're worried about that, because sometimes I did worry. It's the worst mouth. I got the worst mouth, y'all. But I think if you're worried about it, I don't think you broke it. That's just my own opinion. I can't really say for sure. Because I don't think you care. I think if you're that wicked, I don't think you're worried about God at all. I don't think I don't think he plays a thought in your mind at all. If you've committed that sin. I don't think God's in your corner. I mean, in your life. And I'm talking about he's there, but he ain't there to you. Some people might do it just not even knowing they do it though. Like just imagine not really knowing him and really not knowing. I don't know how you couldn't today. Would have been everywhere. The message is there. The gospel is everywhere now. I don't know how that was with the exception of remote islands. Like I've been hearing about him ever since I was a kid. Back then I was, are you real? See, I didn't believe in nothing I didn't see. He had to show me things for me to believe. I say it's blessed to believe what I see in. Just like he told the guy that had the one he wanted to touch his wounds. I think it's blessed to be the one who doesn't have to see him to believe him. Like you don't have to see his miracles. You don't have to see nothing. You don't have to see no evidence of him. You just believe he's there. I look at that as being ignorant. But now I think it's been blessed. I'm talking about the earthly me. See me, I just don't believe in things just to believe in them. I pick it apart. I overthink it. I even question my own beliefs sometimes. Pride them. Because it's good to do that in some ways, but then sometimes it's bad to do it. Because you got to have faith. You got to have faith. You got to have faith. You got to have a faith, a faith, a faith. You got to have faith, a faith, a faith. I'm going to go and quit. This bike's giving me hell. I got 4 out of 5. That's plenty of money. She made some money just getting 4 out of 5. You gotta have a faith, a faith, a faith. I gotta have faith. Because I gotta have faith. Boy, I did some really stupid ones. You want to know the worst test I ever did? My uncle was staying with us. My parents were somewhere. I don't remember where they were. I don't know if it was at work or they went somewhere. My uncle stayed with us that night. And there was tornadoes in there. They happened to spring up. And I don't think it was a warning. I think it's more like a what? But the wind got really bad. He's sitting over there asleep on the is it the love seat or the couch? I can't remember. He's asleep on one of them. And I go and I go, storm. There's a little boy. Be gone. That storm gets worse. I mean, that wind got worse. The trees started whipping worse than they were doing. And I went running in for the house. Another one of my favorite tales is when me and my sister we was rolling the records across the floor, and my grandmother had gave this one that told the gospel like it had all the way through. I think it had on the back of that Paul's story, all the way from Jesus' story, all the way up to Adam. And we was rolling the records, and all the other records survived. Satan wanted that record out of the way, by the way. I figured it out. Satan wanted, because it was one of my favorite records I'd play. It had the Garden of Eden and the Tower of Babel and all that stuff on it. It went all the way through the history of the Bible. It's like Bible stories, and it was narrated. They narrated them, and we was rolling the records across the floor like wheels, like turn them up on the side and running them. It goes and rolls around, it spins on the floor, and it cracks. I yelled at my sister, "We better hide! We broke God's record!" We went under the table. My daddy hadn't got home yet. Work. It was after school, you know. My daddy hadn't got home yet. We broke the records! We broke God's record! Hide! That was it. Me and her, and we hid under the table. I kept peeping out, thinking he was coming. Finally, about 30 minutes later, I tell my sister, I said, "I think we're safe. I don't hear him coming." You know, on the record, they told, that's what I said. The record, it said that you could hear him in the garden. You don't hear him. Let's go. Let's get out. Finally, we got out. I realized he wasn't coming to destroy me. That's my funniest. It's my best story from my childhood. I love that one. It's true, by the way. It really happened exactly like that. Me and her was rolling the records, the rock and roll records in it, like wheels. We would turn them up and spin them, and let them roll down the floor. And that the one with the gospel one happened to break. It spun around. It spun around on its side, and then when it landed, it cracked. And the first thing I do is, we better hide. We broke God's record. I looked at it as God's record. I always hated that got broke, by the way. I loved it. I can't find it anywhere. I've looked. I have looked for that record. I found almost every other record that ever got broke. And I can't find those biblical stories. I can't really tell you it was 30 minutes. It felt like 30 minutes. But now you know how time is. It's kind of slow. That could have been 10 minutes. That could have been 5 minutes for all I know. But it felt like an eternity. But I kept just peeking up out of the tablecloth. Then I'd go back, running back to the center again. I'd peek out again. I don't hear him. I stick in my ear. I'm sticking my ear out. That's what I was doing. Oh! Oh, hot rod madness. Hot rod madness right here on this Monday. Ah! Get her back on. Oh, my eye fogged up. Oh, dang it. What car goes? It slides, it flips her. It flips around. Fatty, lose some weight, Fatty. There's the limo. I say it as much as I can now because they made a point to throw me out over it. I tried to see if I can say Fatty. That was ridiculous. That was silly, man. He calls himself a conservative. He calls himself a conservative, y'all, and he kicked us out over that comment. I say it as much as I can now. I even call myself Fatty at times. That's all he did. He just made me rebel. I don't rebel to sell. It just suits me well. Thank you for visiting. I'm sorry I was sitting there chatting amongst myself. Probably maybe even gone now. I say Fatty just because they threw me out over it. Ridiculous, man. They were really looking for a reason. They were looking for a reason to separate my sister from his son, is what he was doing. We figured you out, buddy. We figured you out. We figured you out. You was just trying to find some way to break her up with him. He's a grown man. You ought to let him make his own decisions. I want you to see my face. Because I'd tell you this to you. If I could see you today, I'd tell you that. I'd tell you to your face. You need to let your son make up his own mind about who he dates. It's none of your damn business. God would tell you that. God would actually tell you that, and you can get the book of Genesis out and read it. You can also read it in the New Testament when Jesus was talking to him about marriage. You got no business involved with your son's relationships at 35, 36 years old. It's ridiculous, man. Get mad at me. Get mad too. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'm telling the truth. Call me crazy. Call you and your little straggly looking son looks like a scum bum. Looks like a scum bum. You and your scraggly son calling my mama names and everything. I tell that little bastard this face too. I ain't scared of him. He's a fake fighter. All I used to see him do is run around the ring and a couple of moves in the ring. He's a freaking fake fighter. Scared of him. You got no business meddling with your son's relationships. Damn straight I said it. I don't want to go apologize. Oh, we're a fat cunt. Oh, God. Well, she's a grown woman. She should have been able to handle being called fat. A grown woman whining about being called fat. How old is she? 10? How old are you, woman? 10? You 10? Are you 10 years old? Can't take being called fat? Lordy. Grow up. They tell me to grow up. They all need to grow up. I didn't even mean to go there. Sorry, y'all. I don't like doing that on the streams. Let's see what kind of shirt I can give her. I kind of like that red with the orange, and she doesn't wear the orange for today, so we'll find her. We'll find her another shirt. Where's her shirt? It may go away with the jacket, though. I want that jacket, so I like that jacket. Are those all jackets, or we got any shirts? We can wear those with the shirt jacket. Let's put her in red and yellow. That'd be Hogan's colors. Bam, bam, bam. Well, thank God it's just they don't control all of wrestling. It's only they can only control their part of it. I get respect everywhere else I go. I ain't never seen none of those other wrestling companies treat me with disrespect. I don't even do nothing most of the time. She shouldn't have had her eyes on me. She kept her eyes to herself, especially after she aggravated me all the time. I mean, I realize people's business; they can do whatever they want to do. But why bother somebody that doesn't really do anything to your business? He just didn't like it because he tried to tell me how to handle her, and I didn't take his advice. I handled her the way I seen fit. It was me she was bothering all the time. She's running her mouth on me every chance she got. Of course, I'm not going to like that. I'm not going to respect that. I don't have to. If I don't want to ignore somebody, I don't have to ignore them. The way I look at it, you don't give me peace, I don't give you none. People says I choose my peace. No, if you don't give me none, I don't give you none. I can go with you just as long as you go with me. That's the way I am. If you don't like it, tough. I don't. It's a phony sense of peace anyway. Your little space, your little space can be disrupted any time, and that's just a part of life. Your space is always going to be disrupted. There's no such thing as ever peace in this world right now. Your space is always going to be interrupted. You just don't let people walk all over you, is all. And that's what she wanted to do. She wanted to walk all over me and say whatever she wanted to say about me. And me not say nothing about her. Well, it don't work that way with me. Nobody ain't never gonna get that with me. I don't care who they are. I'll call themselves a king, a piper, a president, whatever, a dictator, whatever. They'll just have to do whatever they do with me. That same thing that makes me a Christian and makes me Jesus only is the same thing that keeps me from bowing to anybody else. I ain't bowing to nobody. No human. And I don't care what they call